All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
Right here, if you have a beard, random men are going to always walk up to you and try to lick your beard.
Ew, that's so disgusting. Oh.
You're one of Mitten's kittens.
Hold on, so I'm like, nope. Oh, well, you lost all your fleets.
Oh, fuck. Not what we intended. Oh, God. What do we do?
Have you ever seen our intro before, PGL?
Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Meta Show. It is Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, so every Saturday we do have the Meta Show, so make sure you put it on your schedules. This week is a little bit different. Like last week, we have two guests on. We have the Mittani himself back with us, and a pro god legend with his awesome Atlanta Falcons jersey.
Yeah. Not a Falcons fan, but I'm always impartial to Michael Vick, so.
Oh, wow.
Wow, well, this is starting out well. I'm just going to get worse.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you again, ProGod. I think the last time that we got together on a show was, what was it, when we were grinding through all the Phoebe stuff together, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was a couple months ago when the Phoebe stuff was just first getting announced, and we were all kind of digesting it, so.
Well,
I was still on the CSM last time while I was on the show, so it was a little while ago.
That's right, CSM ProGod.
That's actually one of our most popular Meta shows was the last time ProGod was on. So
that was a good one.
Yeah,
I
keep refreshing the view counter, so.
He clicks it every day.
Yeah.
But this week's been pretty interesting. There's been a lot of actual EVE news, which if you've been paying attention at all to EVE news, has been a little stagnant. And by little, I mean very, very stagnant.
It's putting it nicely.
And I guess to really jump into it, I guess let's talk about the strike. I'm not too read up on it. I know Mittani's been kind of focusing and watching it. So how about you tell us a little about what's going on?
Yeah. Okay, so good news. They made waffles. And if that sounds like a non sequitur, welcome to Iceland. If you've never been to Iceland, you'll learn to understand that completely nonsensical things are just how things work over there. So basically, they have a little ritual when they finish negotiations involving labor disputes or whatever, where once everybody's done like making angry faces at one another, they make waffles together. I'm not making this up. Like when they elect a new pope, sure, there's like birds or smoke coming out of the Vatican and in Iceland. When a strike is resolved, waffles are made. So they made waffles as of yesterday or late last night. They had these negotiations between this group of labor unions that are all by law required to work in lockstep with one another. In so many words, had an agreement with the government or something or other, and we don't have to worry about that. I was very concerned last Meta Show because, with the existing delays to Fazisov and the fact that there's really not too much going on in EVE, we've got a lot of interesting battle reports and stuff like that, but there's no big like narratives. The fact that the strike has been wiped away or isn't going to happen means that we don't have to worry about like a work stoppage screwing over development on EVE, which was a big worry. Like delaying Fazisov and a month of people on furlough would have just been bad. But that didn't happen. So yay, we don't have to worry about that anymore. So at this point, any more further delays on Fazisov stuff, that's just all CCP, not any kind of external labor dispute.
Right. They can't blame the strikes because they didn't actually happen. No. But I meant to actually say this before we got into that, but for the giveaways, guys, if you're here last week, you saw we kind of rolled through the show, and every 15 minutes or so we gave away a ship or whatever we're giving away that week, which this week we're giving away a Razer Naboo and a NVIDIA backpack. So those are two things that we're giving out. And what you need to do is every 10 minutes...
And ships. Don't forget ships.
Oh,
we're also
ships.
giving ships.
Yes, also ships for all you spaceship nerds. We're giving away the same ships, same group of ships that we typically do. Also, LO Football, thank you so much for the subscription. Pork Butt, thank you for the 3 months of subs, and Marco Porkio for the 4 months of subs. But guys, make sure you talk in chat for every 10 minutes. You have to at least say something in chat to be eligible to enter the giveaway. And I think that covers the giveaways.
Yeah, just keep talking to each other, and if you're participating, you are qualified automatically, and we'll pop up whenever there's a segue and give something away. And in fact, since we were just talking about this, and it's been our first 10 minutes or so, why don't we give an example of the system by giving away a internet spaceship? Let's do that.
We can do that. What do we have on our list?
Police Pursuit Comet.
Police Pursuit Comet, which that's actually a skin now. So we'll be giving away the Police Pursuit Comet skin that you can put on the Federation Navy Comet. So I'm clicking.
Is that worth a lot?
I think it's like 25 mil or something for the skin.
All right. convinced.
Pite RXX, you have won the skin. It should have popped up in chat from Nightbot. It did. Sweet.
It did. Nice.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's,
It works!
That is so useful.
The system works. That's beautiful.
I tested during...
Congratulations. Mail us whenever you win a giveaway. Make sure that you mail the channel itself on Twitch. Let us know who your in-game character is. If you do not mail the channel on Twitch, we will not be able to give you free stuff.
Yeah,
so first giveaway done. The system works. Let's do it and move on. Where are we going?
So the new scope video. Have you guys seen the new scope video? The one about Jamil releasing shield technology?
The false Empress.
Yes,
the
the false
Empress. Not the real Empress. This is an important distinction. The false Empress.
Role playing.
Oh god, this
Role playing is very serious.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, I used to be in Provi. I remember.
Yeah, well,
I used to Mar Victor in local, and there is no better local spam than using copy pasta of Amar text.
I have
Amar
never
holy
actually
text.
typed Amar Victor in local, so I think you're a better
But
role
you've
player
learned.
than I am. But I'll learn from you, Pro God Legend. I'll see what I can.
I mean, we
come
used to have people that would have like paragraphs and paragraphs of like this Amar holy text from some RP thing, and they would just spam it in local every time. It was worse than goon spam. It was bad. It was really bad.
That's worse. Yeah, worse than goon
We'll have to
spam.
step our level up. Then, okay, we'll have to get on the level.
We're offended. But
yeah, the video. So they released another scope video. As usual, these weekly scope videos that CCV has been producing are absolutely excellent. I love them. You can watch the bottom of the ticker on the scope videos. Usually refers to things that are happening in the game. The production quality keeps going up. And this time, for those of you who haven't seen the scope video this week, it is on. I think we have an article about it on the Mittani.com. Funny how that works. And basically, they are coming up with role-playing reasons behind the upcoming Dominion soft system being changed. Yeah, so they're basically saying that the false Empress, this evil woman who needs to be deposed, has done some sort of wacky stuff to release technology to capsuleers to render all of our structures invulnerable with some sort of mega shield, the same stuff that they say they give to Concord. And this is just a segue for somebody figuring out how to use, I don't know, spooky matrix hacking to use Entosis links to hack systems and hack structures, because now all of our structures are invulnerable to dreadnought guns, something like that.
There's a link in chat, guys, if you haven't seen the article or the video. Go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, I am watching one now. They make it about player events too. I'm watching the one about Southern Conflict.
Yeah, they do one every Friday.
3 alliances leave regions. Red Alliance retakes C-Tech J. This is CCP made this?
Yeah, every Friday.
Yeah.
It's a department of theirs that's actually the same group in CCP who did our hilarious little 66 North.
Which is CCP
false, like our video thing of, if you see the intro of ridiculous jacket and all that from FanFest, the same guys who made that bit of ridiculousness are responsible for the scope videos, and they're just really hilarious. The best bit of it, it's not the best, but it's one of the funniest ones, was in the middle of the Brave coup. They actually had all of the in-game avatars of everyone involved in the Brave Newbies coup, and behind them there was a body on the floor that was presumably Licton.
Yeah,
that was a scope video.
Yeah.
Just like, holy
So
crap,
good.
that owns. It's really well done. So anyway, the scope videos, big shout outs for CCP for that great content.
Yeah,
Big
they are
fan.
really good, and I like that they also include the actual aspects from the game of what's happening and all and everything in the game with it.
It has some relevance besides just like lore stuff, as opposed to serious business, hardcore RP. Let's give away another spaceship. Actually, let's do it.
Another one.
It's gonna be a
So
crew
quickly.
arc.
It's
A
been
crew
like 2 minutes.
Oh, it has only been 5 minutes. Here I am. I'm all excited. I just want to make it rain. I'm so eager to give away things.
A little premature, buddy. Come on.
I am.
Oh god.
Get it and quit, right?
Wow. Speaking of a son of a bitch.
This is happening right now. Wow.
I like it.
Oh, speaking of Amar,
I just teased him.
Burn Amar. Do we have a tentative date of that? I mean,
Well, we haven't announced the dates yet because it's up to the Ministry of Love to figure out when they want to do that. But we're looking for early to mid-June, so sometime within the next couple weeks. We don't want to really give away too much warning on that because we want to make sure that our victims remain mostly unsuspecting and haven't had a chance to prepare. But Burnhamar is coming. We're disconnecting it from the hypothetical attack on Providence because we have to wait until Fozisov kicks in, and Pravi is busy anyway, which is something we can talk about in a bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We haven't had a proper like high-sec suicide ganking burn in a while. Jita is getting kind of stale, and now it'll be our first chance to sort of test our role-playing chops. I'm going to steal Pro God Legends idea, and we'll start telling our ministers and everybody participating to spam local with like, I don't know, a Mar propaganda of some kind.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Everybody
that,
bend the
PGL.
knee to the true Emperor Maximilian Singularity, the sixth first of his name. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait for the actual Pravi invasion. That way we can actually log in and do some stuff. Which actually, speaking of Providence, NC Dot is still in Providence fighting Pravi Block, and I believe also a few CFC entities have moved down there near Providence to get some fights.
See, I don't know what the CFC thing is.
Or sorry, this is Imperium. So a few
Okay.
entities
I know
inside
what
the
that is,
Imperium
right?
have moved down to Providence area. Yeah. So
Yeah,
have you?
Epsilon went there, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They're living like 4 or
man.
5 jumps away from Providence right now. Oh, yeah, Providence right now. Prog, have you watched that at all?
What, the fight's going down in Provi?
Yeah, the fighting.
I've seen a couple of them. I saw NC Dot get their ass kicked a couple times. Then I saw NC Dot and PL blob CVA with more numbers and better fleets. So yeah, it's going about how you would think it would go.
My favorite part about all of this is it's not about how well Pravi's doing. It's NC Dot just getting slaughtered. It's like Pravi's actually being quite formidable.
No, Provi's good. They've got some good FCs now. I mean, Core Blood's been doing it for a while. They picked up one of our FCs, so and they pull good numbers. I don't know how they'll do in Fozzie but you know, they've got a lot of spirit.
I think that's the big
And
question
always-
for all of them.
They've
Pravi's
got a
always
lot of
close to the heart.
spirit. That's like the
Spirit.
last thing you want to hear on a high school team. You're like, don't worry,
Damn it,
buddy, you got a lot of
faith
spirit.
You tried really hard. You did your best.
They're actually pretty good at bombing. They've got some of their alliances basically do nothing but bombing, and they've always got like 30 or 40 bombers. They'll sit there and they'll void bomb you every 30 seconds, and that gets really annoying after a while.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another roll for giveaway. And what's the ship we're giving away, Nystrik?
A crewer.
A Kruger.
I always struggle with pronouncing that.
I actually have a really cool Kruger fit that I then lost on stream to Theta.
Well, that's
Dude,
awesome.
underutilized ship. Really good ship.
Yeah. So the person who won that one was Acty Twist. Acty Twist, you have won a Kruger buddy. Make sure you message the channel with your in-game character name and what item you actually won, so we actually have a list of it.
I have a
congrats-
list.
all right,
I keep
sweet.
a list. Don't worry.
Congratulations, buddy. So next on our list is Brave versus Black Legion and Fountain. They have
Oh man.
yeah. It's that time.
Yeah.
I like the groan. I like the collective groan.
Okay, so I'm just gonna jump in on this. I don't
Go for
want
it,
to
buddy.
get too far into the details. So there's this guy,
This guy.
and his name is Johnny Raw. And every time Brave does anything involving a fight, which usually results in Brave losing horribly to Black Legion, but they'll briefly tackle or hint that they're going to tackle Black Legion caps or supers. And this Johnny Raw guy will immediately blow up every channel he can get a hold of any of us in, pinging me, pinging RFCs, pinging everyone, going, guys, Brave has Black Legion supers tackled, PL is on the way, like it's happening. And this has every single time resulted in the moment that we actually make because we double check these things, we don't just take it at his word.
Yeah.
Our recon department is like, yeah, so it's more like Black Legion has no supers tackled, the entire Brave Cap fleet is tackled and dying, and yeah. And that's what
He was
happened
close.
this time.
It was
Like
close.
that-
Caps were tackled.
Caps,
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
breathed a bubble on a Black Legion super cap, and after that bubble expired, then the entire Brave Cap fleet got nuked. It was something like 86, or what was the frickin' death toll on this? I'm gonna look it up right now.
I just linked it in the actual
Did I miss
article.
this?
I linked it into chat. This was literally last night. This happened.
Yeah, Black
Oh,
Legion versus
this-
Hero Capital Fleet. As you can see, Laz has linked it with the slightly different.
I am terribly out of it. I've been on vacation for a couple days, so.
Good for you.
Well, we have.
Yeah, right? I didn't even have internet where we went.
Oh God, that's awful.
Yeah, really disconnected.
Yeah, there's places without internet now.
Yeah, we were out on
Yeah, I know.
we were out on a lake, and like I had my cell phone with me, and we were motoring around, and then I briefly got cell phone reception. I'm like, I have to tweet right now. I have to show people I'm still alive for a little bit.
Which, Mr. Spreeball, thank you so much, buddy, for the subscription. Thanks for the support. Make sure you subs, get a link in the chat for him. And speaking of the actual Capital Ball, we talked in Johnny Raw coming yelling. I messaged Elise once we heard about it, and he was like, "No, Brave lost tackle like as soon as we started moving." And what I glean out of this is at least there's someone in the game that is worse at keeping supers tackled than the Imperium.
Than us. It's true. It's like Alabama and Mississippi, right? Thank God for Mississippi. So, one of the things that is interesting from a broader perspective about this, not so much like Brave is bad and lost a fleet or whatever, is, seeing from a macro level strategic perspective, the fact that Black Legion is shifting into being interested in becoming an actual soft holding entity, fighting to maintain that. Meanwhile, Brave is Brave still basing out of NPC Fountain? Like, are they
Yeah,
still,
they're not going to move out of MN5. This way they don't have to evac ever if they don't really feel like it.
They don't get to, they don't have to have the same experience they had in HED. And
which, I mean, as always, that's
least they
smart. That's what
learned this
NPC
time.
00 Space does. I'm looking at it now, it looks like Black Legion owns half of Fountain now, and
Yep.
I don't think they're going to stop for any reason as long as Brave keeps forming and losing ships to them.
I think it's fun
So-
that Black Legion is taking Fountain with half of old test members in Black Legion going back to Fountain to take it over. I just think it's funny.
Well,
I think it's
Gorgon
interesting.
Empire owns space now. Triumvirate's taking space now. Black Legion has space. A lot of entities are taking space right before Fazisav.
Yeah.
it's because all the big blocks basically said, "Fuck you,"
I
mic
do
drop,
find it
we're out.
interesting that, we're a month away from never having to grind soft structures again, but everyone is doing their best to grind soft structures right up into the last moment.
Well, it's because the people who are doing it have never had the opportunity to really enjoy that.
Yeah, that's
before.
true.
It's like, because, Black Legion, this is Black Legion's first time really like grinding Dominion to take stuff for themselves. Triumvirate has never had a chance to do it because every time they
Triumvirate is extremely motivated to fight for soft structures. I've been impressed.
Maybe they spent so much time like bouncing around the Northwest that they kind of like caught that structure-loving virus from us or something. I don't know. It's interesting. The drone regions, the fact that there is that contest for the drone regions, and that Triumvirate has like. So here we have two long-standing NPC, high-skill, elite PvP entities, at least before Black Legion started taking all the test guys.
I thought you were talking about drone regions.
Yeah,
I was Triumvirate and who?
Well, no, I said, like, in general, you have,
You're not talking about us, are you?
No. But Triumvirate and Black Legion both are entities that have a skewed soft and holding territory. And what we're seeing here is that now that the blocks have like PL and the Imperium and N3, whatever happened to them, there's all the space. And so these guys like Triumvirate and Black Legion, which used to sort of turn up their noses up at SOV, are actually taking a risk and getting involved in it. And I think that is very interesting to see, especially for the impact it's going to have on the Russian renter organizations that have traditionally held the drone regions. Like, there's not that many dudes up there to fight back against Tri, basically. Or no,
There's just not that many dudes there in general.
Well, why don't you update us on that? I mean, you're heavily involved in that, Progod. Like, you're up there with your little rattle. Are you guys still using rattlesnakes?
No, we use TFIs now.
Okay.
Well,
because you lost a bunch of
We
rattlesnakes.
finally have a good fleet comp. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what about
One
those
good fleet comp
supers
to
this
fight
week?
with.
Tell us a little about that. A few ships.
How could we forget?
Yeah. So
Right. It's all you, Progod. This is your show.
basically, to put it as politely as possible, I wanted to show some people that I had some nutsack. So I dropped supers in solar staging system, which actually went pretty well. And then we were about to extract, so we got a safe spot ready, and we warped our supers off, and we were all ready to jump out, and we were high-fiving each other on channel command, and then we landed, and the Sino didn't light, and then we got tackled by 30 dictors, and then PL came, and bad things happened.
Yeah.
So
You
why didn't
told
the
us
Sino
before
light?
that you were raging. Is there a SoundCloud of your rage?
Oh yeah. Rick
need to
Rick
find a link to
posted
link this.
my exploits. It's actually yeah, I was actually pretty happy about it. I showed my roommates. They thought it was pretty cool.
He's got it sitting it's the link to it's actually posted on his refrigerator with a magnet right now.
Yeah.
like a school report.
For your favorite consumption.
I mean, as far as rage goes, I thought it was pretty mild. I started throwing out compliments there, which you never want to do in a good rage. I mean,
You need to
that
take
kind
a
of
graph.
I mean,
defeats the whole
Wrath
purpose.
really sets the
Yeah.
standard.
You need
like
to take a
full
graph.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
less than
know.
12 Black Legion spies, like, you know.
Yeah.
That's a
But,
that's a rage out for the ages. But,
I mean, I can't be too mad. We had a guy the guy that didn't light our Sino, he didn't have enough fuel to light a Sino, and that stuff happens. And he's one of our best pilots, so shit happens, I guess. It was risky. But, I mean, you know, it was fun. I had fun, I guess.
Fun is important.
I had
Yeah.
fun, I guess.
So-
Yeah.
With
If
Fozzie
you haven't,
Sob,
if you haven't listened to the Rage, you should. I'm proud of it. So
it's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. With Fozzie Sob and everything coming up, what's Nulli's plan going into it? Have you guys decided where you guys want to end up?
Right now our current plan is to win some more AT ships because we're running out of money. So we've done some practicing for that. We did some practicing today. Other than that,
So the plan is to go in and beat Pandemic Legion again, like last year.
I mean, yeah, we're working on our Beam Zealot concept. We've got a couple of good options ready to go.
Or see some more DPS hick setups.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, we're either gonna stay over there, maybe take some space, or I don't know, head over to Fountain, see how that goes. Head over to Delve. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. There's a lot of little small conflicts. There's a big power vacuum all over. Now that N3 lost our space. I mean, we could go south again. It's not like Stainwagon could hold all that space that they have. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, from a certain perspective, one of the reasons why you can laugh off the whole Aeon thing is, like, in terms of super carriers, like, what the hell are they even going to be doing? And for how long is it going to be until we need to care
Yeah.
about super carriers, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, true. I mean, that's what I said, and everyone said that's still not a good idea to drop them like that. But you know, if you could back me up with that excuse, that'd be great. You know?
I'll back your excuses up. Sometimes
Generate
you just
Can we have
content.
can we have an official statement?
strong. You're a strong FC. And,
I think it's time for another giveaway.
I think it is.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
So a succubus is next.
Succubus rolling.
World Shatter. Congratulations.
Yes. World Shatter. Congratulations, buddy. You've won yourself a Succubus. Make sure you message the channel with your in-game character name so we can send that to you.
You know, if we have Nightbot actually doing work and being sensible, maybe we could include
Oh
the,
shit.
you know, message the channel thing in the Nightbot broadcast.
We'll figure that out.
I don't know if I can or not, but we'll see. I'll have to look into it after the show. Actually, we're going to stop the show right now. I'm going to dig into it.
Everybody stop.
Yeah, just
That's
wait.
a great idea.
Brilliant plan.
Oh.
Possibly.
But as you're saying, there's a huge vacuum in space right now, and you see the Imperium. Like, we gave away Fountain, which I believe in Moon Income is like the second most profitable region.
Yeah,
in the game.
I was kind of surprised y'all did that.
We don't need that fucking money.
Why?
Fucking
Well,
rich.
I'm here. You can ask.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, it's a lot of money. I wouldn't do it, but.
Yeah. So why did we give away Fountain, the Mittani?
Well, it's strategically not needed at this point. Like the everything that I say when I say these things in public, it's not some sort of like wild, crazy spin thing. Like, it's the reality of the chessboard as I see it, and as not just me, but like our best brain trust people who are a hell of a lot smarter than me figure these things out. When CCP announced that they were going to be, and this is a key thing, with the new index system, and when they announced that they're going to be like tripling the value of ores in our space, we realized that density was going to be security, right? So having all this moon money is great and all, but if it's on, you know, it's in ass Pakistan, like with the Phoebe stuff, with the jump fatigue, it's such a huge pain in the ass. You really need to have a central dense core. And we also realized that when they buffed the mining thing, that we can make just an absolute ton of money off of that in the galactic Northwest. I think that small defensible footprints are
Wait,
really
like
just the
like
way to go.
rock mining, like the actual
like
mining.
rock mining. Like, they buffed the hell out of mining.
Wow.
Yeah. So money comes from many
the
sources.
expression,
Yeah.
the expression on ProGod's face when you said that was
I don't
amazing.
find it myself, but you know, when you're talking about like income numbers and things like that,
No, yeah, no. It's I'm sure it's
money
good.
comes from many sources. So
Yeah.
we're just looking at it. And it's like, well, the other thing is that Executive Outcomes was just sick of Cloud Ring. They're like, we don't.
Who's
Don't
not
want this
sick of
anymore.
Cloud Ring? I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, it's not.
Cloud Ring's a shit region.
Cloud Ring is awful, and from a strategic perspective, if you don't have somebody actually living in Cloud Ring that enjoys it, and previously back when Grayscale had buffed anoms way back in the day, Cloud Ring briefly got to be good because you could upgrade the space, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the leader of Executive Outcomes, Mo, is just like, fuck this, we're not going there, we're leaving. And I'm like, well, we can't hold Fountain then, and whatever, fuck it. So.
Well, before EXE moved into there, Cloud Ring was that region where alliances go to die. I mean, Goonstorms ended up there and basically had to fall back to the motherland of Syndicate to kind of regroup. And Evoke was there, and I actually think Minor Threat was there for a little bit whenever Ritus and I were running Minor Threat. So it's I'm surprised EXE survived.
It's never been good.
A stint
It's never been
Cloud
good.
Ring. It's like that haunted house. Let's go stay there for a weekend and see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens.
Terrible idea.
They were there for quite a while. I mean, the thing about it is also consolidating and just having a really big, super defensible ball in the Northwest means that we can kind of we can focus on raiding, reavers, going down to the Southwest and using it as a content farm, or just, fucking around, because as long as our money and our home is secure, we can do stupid shit like blowing up revenants and things like that.
As far as I understand, Fozzie-Sov, especially in its current iteration, which it doesn't appear like they're going to really change anything. It seems like the original iteration, other than the time variable window, everything else seems to be set in stone. So I feel like you really do have to live in your space if you want to defend it.
Yep.
Which means if you want the CFC to still be defensible, you need everyone kind of living close together. And the
Everybody
North is
keeps
so
mentioning
fucking
this
easy.
whole CFC thing. I don't really understand.
Oh, dude, we got named in 3, so I'm sorry, but I don't
Not
get.
gonna be shaken.
Yeah,
It's that is always a shame. Yeah, like the N3 name, I never really figured out where that came from. So.
yeah, it's a fucking Eve News 24 article back in the day.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
My jabber is lighting up because there's 100 Pandemic Legion currently in RO0 tackling 15 Imperium. I almost said CFC. Imperium capitals.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Tune in and be like, why do we have caps out? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
it's a Theta thing. I think it looks like it's one of those.
The last time this happened during the meta show, we lost 2 Titans and like 4 Super.
And it was all anyone would talk about in chat. We would ask for questions. They'd be like, how does it feel to lose ships?
Yeah. When you find out about something that's happening, like when you're doing a stream, it's hilarious. Like I'm like watching chat and it's like, oh yeah, so a whole bunch of dumb shit is happening. Like, well, I can't do anything about that right now because I'm on TV. But
Sucks to be you guys.
people, jumping into safe carriers, that is the thing. So hey, if you're in the Imperium and watching this, you should probably take a look at the fleet broadcast so that we don't end up getting completely screwed. I've got to figure out. I wonder if it's Zungeon or whether it's Tipperizzle. Like that's gonna
It's
be
probably both. Typically, it's both.
Okay.
But speaking of people giving away Sov and Sov in the Seas making money, Fozzie-Sov, they just posted those changes a couple weeks ago. ProGod, do you have any opinions on the way they are going with Fozzie-Sov at this point?
Changes? What changes?
Where they said they're going to change it to where the prime time fluctuates depending on how much you use Sov and.
Oh, that was a good idea. I mean, we said that was a good idea a couple months ago, and I'm glad they rolled with it.
Yeah, the variable prime time is huge. I'm a big fan of that. But did they change it where it's not just variable prime time across? Did they make it such that you can
individually set times for each system now, which I'm not particularly
Interesting.
sure I like that, but
That sounds like a lot of micromanagement. Hooray!
yeah,
I really love that.
I kind of like the idea of having one big giant alliance-wide time because it kind of forced you to make decisions. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. It's not like it hasn't.
We're just gonna have to see how that
for
goes. I
11
mean, I'm
years
glad
anyway.
that they added variable prime time, but it is curious if they're letting you change so you could have like multiple different structures in one system because they're going to be changing everything over to this system in one way or the other. But like
I'm
at least
still-
3 structures,
Yeah.
each with
Eventually.
different primes. That's
I mean,
Yeah, you could say, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be complicated. It's.
So, I mean,
I
you
thought
could-
the whole
if you
point
wanted
of
to
this
be a
system was to
dick,
make
right,
it
you
easier to
randomize it,
understand.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
you could
that was the
randomize
thing.
the shit out of it.
Or
so
you
like
just,
our prime time is completely different across like different random periods of space. Like, you know, in Pure Blind, each system, if it's hard to defend or something, has like you roll the dice and it's like Aussie time zone, US time zone, and whatever, and just make it as obnoxious as possible. I don't know.
well, exactly. You would just create regions out of your regions where you have just nationalities covering that area because they're all in the same time zone.
Somebody's asking us about LauncherGate in chat that maybe we should be talking about. But before we have a segue...
I was actually just about to say the giveaway.
All right.
So next up is Garmer.
A Garmer. Excellent.
Garmer. All right. Doing the roll. Gus Bus.
Again?
Gus
Bus, buddy.
Oh.
I believe isn't Gus Bus a sub as well?
He is a sub. He won last week, too.
Sweet. Congratulations, man. Make sure you message the channel. You know the drill. You've won a few times so far.
Yeah.
Absolutely rigged, guys. Like I said, all my streams, guys. Every giveaway, always rigged. All the time.
Yeah.
Never not rig. Okay.
All right.
So should we talk about? Do we want to talk about LauncherGate, or do we want to go back to talking about FozzieSoft?
Launcher. I actually don't. What is LauncherGate? Does anyone?
It was like most things that are described as a gate, with the exception of Watergate. It turns out to be not really a big deal. There was a change for this patch that CCP was putting in, saying that they weren't going to allow you to launch the game from just the exe file .exe anymore, and you'd have to use the launcher or something. And then there was such a huge outcry on that inside of like a day they reversed the decision, and so things are back to normal. So the end. TLDR. People were mad, they backtracked. People are presumably no longer mad. So like most
okay,
games,
never mind. Whenever you said launcher, I was thinking of missile launchers. I was like, why would there be a launcher gate on
no,
missile launcher?
I
I read this yesterday on Reddit where CCP Lilu posted that, and then I saw them walking. Okay, I'm on the same page now. We're good.
Gotcha.
They're all on.
That's sort of a tempest in a teapot kind of thing, because you know, if they're just like, yeah, okay, we'll fix it, then there's not too much more on that.
Well, the big thing about that, though, is all the people, including myself, which I use IS Boxer to FC and run multiple clients and all that, and IS Boxer won't function through the launcher. It has to go directly through the EXE to be able to launch the multiple clients.
Right.
So that would completely screw over anyone using IS Boxer. And
I thought it was just that you couldn't launch the exe file from like the bin folder, not just at all. But
yeah, well, that's the thing, is that they want you to go directly through their launcher for everything, which the launching the exe goes subroutines that goes around it, and that's what they're trying to cut out. To force you to go through their launcher, which I'm assuming is to maybe so that you see their news feeds or something. I have no idea why they want to force it.
Yeah, especially since the launcher, there's a lot of times where like a patch will launch and everyone's like, well, you got to go through your exe file. You can't actually launch the game through the launcher. Like, that happens at least once a patch, at least.
yeah, I don't know.
All right, so let's see.
I don't get it either. I don't know why they keep trying to like push that.
All right, and let's see, current events wise, tomorrow there's something going on. Would you want to explain to us what's happening tomorrow? The Mittani?
Oh God. Okay. Well, it's always awkward when everybody refers to me as "Hello, the Mittani. Would you like to do something, the Mittani?" This is usually why we call me Mittens. But I essentially, when we had the delay of FozzieSoft, we ended up scrambling for things to do in terms of Imperial leadership. Like, there wasn't that much content in the game, and I was saying that there's not much content in the game right now, as we're probably losing like 15 carriers like idiots.
No content whatsoever.
It's good actually. Things have really picked up in the last week, which is great to see. But while waiting for FozzieSoft, and because the glorious forces in the southwest who are owning Delve, like Darkeshi and the remnants of N3, collapsed so rapidly when we went from Fountain over into Delve as just sort of a punitive go fuck yourself expedition, they imploded, and then we were like, okay, well, we don't really have a war or anything to do. So we started going, we did the whole big multi-platform push. So we have like our people are in H1Z1. We're starting to sort of sit down roots in World Warships. We're doing these things in other games. And then simultaneously, we're like, okay, well, we need some sort of a victory parade. Like, our guys usually, there's a big victory lap whenever you win a space war. There had been a Revenant BPC, one of those poop spike mothership things that drop from incursions. And like Main Fleet and European Union and some of the incursion guys all got on some sort of big complicated drama over it, because incursion stuff always results in drama. And in the typical way that we handle drama, we simply took the thing away from everybody and said that we were going to put DBRB in it. And then we were going to have everyone Thunderdome and destroy it. So everyone would at least get a Revenant kill mail rather than trying to sell it or be sensible or adjudicate in some way. We're just going to blow it up. And we're calling it Boat's Goat. And that will be an op tomorrow at 1900 Eve time. We have a coalition level Thunderdome where European Gunion is going to be trying to defend the Revenant with their Nightmare fleet, which they're also willing to sacrifice, versus everybody else. And presumably some hostiles will show up to try to crash the party and get on the Rev Kill Mill too. Yep. So we pretty much expect high chaos.
And I've put the Revenant up on stream for you guys to see. That is the ship that will be dying. I think there's only been 2 that's died in the entire game.
And speaking of like rage sound clouds, the loss of PL's Revenant was what resulted in Grath making that rage sound cloud that we were hinting at earlier in the show.
that was amazing.
That was ridiculous. But yeah, there's not many Rev kill mails in the game, not many Rev loss mails in the game. It is 2. A really weird looking ship. Like I've always wondered if the incursion community would be more popular in general if the Revenant didn't look like a spiky turd.
Well, let's be honest here.
It looks like all the other shitty Sancha ships. So.
When we were trying to teach you how to play League of Legends, you wouldn't play any character that didn't look cool.
I make no apologies. It's like, if it's gonna look like a piece of dog shit, I don't really want to be like, oh hey, look at my spaceship. It looks like a turd with too many pieces of corn in it. Like, the Succubus looks cool. The Phantasm looks pretty cool. I think the Nightmare looks kind of ugly, but hey, that's just me. But yeah, so we're just gonna blow up a Revenant tomorrow.
I just practically can't get behind. I practically can't get behind any spaceships that have spikes on it because that just seems ridiculous. But
speaking of cool ships that we could blow up, I don't know if you guys have seen this. We wrote an article about it, and I don't know if it's gotten much love. Davi, a test pilot, has offered up his Titan if we get enough donations to leukemia cancer research. So I'm going to throw that link in just because we're talking about killing fun ships. I'm going to throw the link in chat. Guys, if you want the chance to kill a Titan, we need a certain amount of donations. You got about less than a week. I think just under a week. Donate to, help cancer research, and you get to blow up a fun Titan.
Well, and speaking of giving stuff away, why don't we give another ship away?
Well, we don't actually have a ship. The last thing we have is the NVIDIA backpack.
All right.
What about our subscriber?
We have our. That's our. That's.
Well, let's just roll it. So,
all right, then.
We got to move into subscriber mode.
No, not for the backpack.
Not for the
backpack is just a follower.
Yeah, everyone can get the backpack.
Everybody gets a backpack.
No. Yeah.
Wait.
It's like Oprah.
You're doing it again, Johnny.
You get a thing, and you get a thing. Yeah.
What is the backpack?
It's just a backpack that has.
So if you
thing you put books and stuff in.
Yeah.
Well, no.
It's 2 straps. Put on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right. My bad.
We have all this swag to give away these days. It's pretty.
All right. Doing the roll right now. Korak 1 2 3 4 5. Super unique name there, buddy. But you have won a backpack, man. Make sure for this one, I don't need your in-game Eve character name. I need you to send us your real name with your real life address. So and your social security number, etc.
At all, I promise.
Oh my! To get this backpack, you must give us your soul.
Yeah.
I don't have a soul to give. I'm sorry.
That's true. You are a redhead.
So Korak, I need your real name and your real address. If you're not comfortable with that, tell us right now on the channel so I can re-roll it.
Well, if he is uncomfortable with it or whatever, we'll just give it away on the next show next week.
Yeah, we can do that.
We don't have to wait for him to tell us his delicate, sensitive feelings. If he doesn't want to, that's his problem.
The Citadels, actually, we haven't talked about the Citadels at all. And I don't think we have
structures.
What are Citadels?
You don't. Are you reading Eve News at all, ProGod?
If it's not PvP related, I generally ignore it.
Well, it is. These are the new structures that's supposed to be taking over for POS.
He's gonna put 5 Aeons in the field in front of a whole bunch of Russians, but he's not gonna beat up on Citadels. I see how it is.
Yeah. So,
All right.
well,
Should I know
Citadel's-
about? Should I know?
You
about
should
this?
because
You probably
the
should if you
the
care about
extra
Sov.
large.
Are you free from the chains of Sov warfare? Is that what's it? Are you
No, we've taken
truly
6 systems
out
in
of-
Ethereum
All right.
Reach. It sucks.
Okay, well, then you should know it.
I've pasted the link
Okay.
into chat to the Citadels.
All right, let
and
me
one of
read
the
this.
one of the
Make
big
it better.
Jesus. Okay, just
Well,
hold on
why
one
don't you
moment.
describe
TLDR
the fast for
Yeah.
ProGod such that he doesn't have to read because he also doesn't know about like backpacks or things that you put books in. But,
No idea what a
Double
backpack
brother
is.
Reading's never been my forte.
So the Citadels are going to be meant to have the Entosis module used against them, and just like the current soft system, where they're literally tying everything into this Entosis link, which I think is, excuse my language, but fucking stupid. And until they do the capital rebalance, if they bring these in before the capital rebalance, and
Capitals are useless.
yeah, capital will be useless. But the first Citadels aren't supposed to be coming in to like winterish. And one of the coolest things about them is they're going to they have their own fitting pane, where you can add different modules to them, like guns and drones and all that, where they can defend themselves. And the extra
Hey,
large one,
I remember that idea. Here we go.
yeah. Well, they're going to be getting newts and E-War and all that, so it's like the passes, but with a fitting window. And the extra large one's actually getting a Doomsday. Like it's getting like a Doomsday that's able to like take out like supers and shit. Like it's gonna be like a fucking proper
like,
Doomsday.
super interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean, this sounds like
So
the
do
kind
these
of,
replace pauses?
Eventually, that's what they want. Is eventually.
Do they have shields?
No. As far as I know, they don't. They're gonna have like a dry
They don't
dock
need
function.
shields because it's like an entosis thing, right? So like, you
Well,
have
no, but like, where do I put my fucking ships? Like,
Well, they're gonna be like mooring and
Yeah, you
like,
moor them to the station.
or
Come
like
on.
docking, and they're still working on that. Like it's
Face.
it's
I
still
hate this
very
idea already.
well.
I
If
hate
you
this shit.
if you listen to the recording of the roundtable, it's
I don't want to learn new things. I already know how pauses work.
I hate new things.
Well,
New
the
things
biggest-
are bad.
the biggest
Yes,
thing is how
everyone's
you're gonna
doing
bridge
that.
your fleet safely.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not. That's
So you just can get bombed every
launcher
single
with
time.
area of effect missiles. This sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
Look impossible. Well, I mean, to be fair, like it's a situation that
defense
if they say
barrier.
it's going to happen in winter sometime, that's and basically
That's
Neverland, right? Like when
Right.
they say
Single
they're going to.
target.
It's like Star
this
Citizen
is,
getting released
this is kind
sometime
of
soon.
cool. This is kind of cool. This is what I've been saying. Like, we need to have some fucking like defenses because there's never any difference between the attackers and the defenders in Sov War, other than you might get to put a Sinojammer up.
Well, the big thing about these Citadels is you're gonna be able to place them pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I fucking said. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so
All
basically,
right, I like this idea now.
Yeah, you can
It's
put
what,
them.
it was
in-
actually invented by progodlegend. Like the other things.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No. I mean,
Let's bring that back.
if you want to say it, but all right. Capture the flag. What is this capture the flag thing?
Do the Entosis thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So like, do you RF it with the Entosis and then you RF it again and?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't really know exactly.
Well, they have a diagram.
But this is basically like sort of long term. This is where they're looking to go with structures, and it looks like it's a different team that's handling the structure stuff at CCP than it is the people who are working directly on the Fozzie
Yeah,
Sov. So
Sov
that's
is
kind
a
of like
different
why
team.
we get news from one team with one dev blog and news from a different team in another dev
Yep.
blog.
And I just posted a link to
mind.
that.
I don't mind that they're tying everything into the Entosis link, but I still don't necessarily like the Entosis mechanics. I mean,
Oh,
everyone's just gonna fit them on scepters. It seems.
Well, I don't really know how the whole like hack scepter thing is going to work in practice. Like what worries me about changing the actual Entosis module itself as far as it relates to the fit to the ships is that like we really seem to have slowed down in terms of the ship balance department because we're still playing Ishtars and Tingers online, right? And like, oh, there's a slight tweak to Sentry
Not
drivers.
necessarily, but yeah.
Well,
In
like
the main,
good.
if you look at the news of these big battles and stuff, it's still Ishtars and Tingers. Like with the exception of you, like losing Aeons and like rattlesnake fleets here and there. Like there are some doctrines, TFIs, things like that people can do. But in terms of the vast majority of like serious fights, it's still Ishtars and Tingers.
If you look at the Entosis links, though, they made it so that like when they released the official stats and stuff for the Entosis links, it made it so that Troll Scepters were a little less viable when they released the stats for that. So you guys should definitely take a look at that.
Yeah, they can't fit T2 links.
Yeah.
They can only do T1, and there is a mass penalty on that.
Yeah,
so
a
like
huge
the
mass
fact that
penalty.
if you
It's
activate it, you slow the fuck down. So it's going to be.
Oh,
pretty-
really? Well,
Yeah,
that
well,
solves that problem.
Well, the
That's
biggest
cool.
thing is if you all you have to do is break their lock, and then they have to completely restart the cycle again.
Yeah.
So if you break their
Right.
lock, then they have to wait for the cycle to finish it. Then they have to restart the cycle.
And they're still stuck with the mass penalty. Like if the lock is broken, the like 5-minute timer on the
Yeah,
link
until it
continues
cycles.
going, which means that you're still not able to receive reps. You're still not able to be zippy. You can't really do anything. So we're
So
not too
that
worried
that
about
pretty much
intercept
kills the
stuff.
Troll Scepter thing. So
Yeah,
there we go.
I mean, we'll see.
Cool.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be a real issue. You know, the system is actually just a lot better than what it was with the variable prime time, with people being able to build iHubs and iHub upgrades, iHubs shrinking in size, the mining buff, the mass penalty on the Entosis link, and the variable prime time. In general, I'm pretty bullish on FuzzySoft. I'm actually, if you guys saw the show last week, I was actually like super concerned, unhappy mittens, because I was like really worried about the strike thing and the lack of content we're seeing in EVE. But with the strike resolved, as long as we get FuzzySoft and the rough July timeline that we have been now told, I like the system itself. I think, or at least.
Well,
it's
if the Entosis modules are coming out with Carnix and they work as planned, I don't see a reason they'll push it back any further. I think the original postponement makes sense to me because this way they get to test the Entosis module on something that's pretty inconsequential, station services, and then see how it goes from there for a month.
Yep. All right, well, let's try our first sub giveaway using this new bot, which I'm not sure if it's going to work right, but we'll see.
So the bot, in theory, will just give it to a sub without us having to.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't have put it in sub mode. We should be able,
you don't have to put it in sub
leave,
mode?
leave it off of sub.
Hands
Oh
off.
my!
Yeah.
Hands
Oh
off.
god!
Sorry.
Here we go.
Yeah. So, what are we giving away?
We've got a
Let's give a
Phantasm, a
spaceship first.
Balthorn, and another Naboo X. So
Let's
I
give
guess
away
Phantasm
the
first.
Phantasm first.
All right. So, this should theoretically be a sub. Pixelzarg, he's a sub. Pixelzarg.
It says he's a follower, but I don't know whether it distinguishes.
It did, but basically on my end, I can set it to only read subs. And
The
it's
system
fancy.
works. Congratulations. dude.
yes.
There we go.
Okay. This just
All right.
keeps getting easier and
What does he
easier.
win? What does he win?
Hey,
A
Phantasm.
Phantasm.
So make sure you message Channel Pixel. Congratulations, man. Tora, you're not
How do
poor.
I get in for the running for that Naboo X thing?
You just type in
You
chat.
Type
subscribe
in
to the
chat.
channel and type in chat. As long as you're typing in chat since the last giveaway.
You have to be a sub though for that Naboo X.
Well, he's a mod, so I think it'll
Oh.
include a bonus.
Yeah, there we go.
That's-
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Apparently, the status, a little bit of EVE news update, the status on our getting screwed over situation. We lost like 4 carriers, and then the rest of them that were tackled got away, and we scraped them off, so it was all good.
I love
Die
DeVille's
gloriously.
response to what's better. PL came in, we formed 4 fleets, PL went away.
Well, that's what happens. Our guys are like, hey, there's something to actually fight in EVE close to home on our doorstep. Like, all of a sudden,
Love it.
which is good. Yeah, like that's how we roll. It's never fight fair. If you're fighting fair, you're not fighting at all. So
Yeah, well, I think this actually might be a good time to just kind of show people about this Naboo X, which we haven't really.
Oh, let's
gone
talk
over.
about the Naboo X.
Yes.
please.
Well, we have
Yes.
8 minutes. So before we
Yeah.
have to ring off because we're sticking to an hour. Yeah. So the Naboo X is kind of a cool thing. It's it's like a Fitbit basically for gamers. Essentially, it's like one of these quantified life things. It's essentially, and Laz, you know it better than I do.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I've been looking into it because I had to give them a bunch of them away last week, and they literally have like vibrations built into them, custom LEDs, noises, and they link right up to your phone. It can track your sleeping if you're like a restful sleep, and it will literally tell you kind of what you do and analyze your heart rate and stuff like that. Like if you look steps walked, distance traveled, calories burnt, like it's something really, really good if you are trying to keep up. Like if you work a job at a desk, if you want to say how much am I doing in a day and what should I be doing when I get home, and just
I think their advertisement would be like more effective if they just showed like a really fat goon. Instead of like, because like on the stream right now, there's like
all of
very
these guys
attractive
are already
athletic girl.
fit.
Like we don't need it.
Yeah.
But, our Swole Swarm guys actually really like it because we're having this big. That is actually a thing. Arindel Weist, who has lost a ton of weight and runs Swole Swarm for the Imperium, has actually opened up the contest this year to the entire community and was posting on the EVE subreddit about the fact that we're just trying to get EVE players in general and all of us less fat and Cheeto stained, as it were. So I think Weist has lost like 250 pounds or something absolutely ridiculous.
Good for him.
No, it's quite inspiring. Like he's
awesome.
Him and Blarf and a bunch of the other guys get together in a Jabber channel and
I heard
compare
Blarf was
notes
doing
on
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Good for
Blarf
you guys.
is Blarf
I'm up to 4
into-
days at the gym, 4 days a week.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
A man among
I'm
men.
about to go get a personal trainer myself, so I guess I'm in it.
Yes.
I didn't
Okay,
eat lunch
so
today,
let's,
so I'm doing my part.
Let's go ahead and give away the Naboo because we have 6 minutes
Well,
left.
we've got a Balgorn first, then the Naboo.
Oh, Balgorn first. Let's do the Balgorn.
We can do that right now. Right meow. Doing the roll right now for the giveaway. Mr. Spreebald, which is a new sub today.
Yes.
Congratulations,
The
man.
Balgorn, congratulations.
Yes.
I think we missed a sub though. Count Lagula subbed a little while ago, so I'd like to thank him for subbing to the channel and obeying Hypno Kitten.
Awesome.
The other thing that I want to talk about briefly before we end up getting all serious business here is that we are recruiting writers on TMC. Some jerk came into Mittani.com. I guess what are we still looking at the Naboo thing, or did you remove it from the stream? Like,
It's gone.
okay.
You're good. Yeah.
There we go.
Am I looking at the camera?
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking at.
Okay, that's terrifying. Please don't do that. Oh god. I need to leave.
I just squicked
We need
everybody
an
out.
adult.
Yeah, so basically what happened is that some jerk came into TMC editorial and was unhappy with the way in which the system was working, and that jerk proceeded to flip over a bunch of tables, clarify explicitly what was expected of everyone in terms of writing one article every 2 weeks, how you do it, what you do, what format, blah blah blah, and then massively raised the level of pay to 250 million ISK per article that you write per month. If you're interested in doing this, and if you can write well and don't suck, click the link in the chat that I just posted. We are looking for submissions and new writers, and that's why you see in the last 4 or 5 days, TMC is now turning out 7 articles of
Yeah, it's great.
news. It's quite nice.
We have to not suck.
I'd like to thank.
Not suck. If you want to suck, you can always go to our competition. They pay a whole lot less. It's 75 billion ISK compared to our 250, and grammar, writing, the English language, all of that is optional. So
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow, 3 subs. Matakahashi, Wally3 Eve, and Crucial King. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and obeying.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Quit
So
with the
yeah,
cat.
we got pretty good uptake. Do we want to? Let's give people a chance to talk about other things with us.
say
Is there
something
anything
really
else?
quick. If
Do we
you
have
just
any
subbed.
Q&As or anything that people would like to go over? We can probably run our mouths about FozzieSoft for some time now. One of the things that an earlier point before we got into the discussion with ProGod was just I do think it's really interesting that you are starting to see entities like BL and Triumvirate settle down roots. Their behavior in the past have always been around the idea of being able to be purely mobile NPC space-based entities, and usually there's a major cultural shift that alliances go through when suddenly they stop being NPC nomads, elite PvP mercenaries, and suddenly have to start dealing with the crap that the rest of us do in terms of sorting out ratting drama and holding space and setting up logistics departments and all that.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm skeptical of whether it's because of the FozzieSov or just because of the power vacuum, and just that there's actually more space available now without the 2 coalitions kind of strangling it all.
It is, I think, the power vacuum, and FozzieSov has less to do with it. I agree.
I think it's a mixture of both, because if you think about it, pre-FozzieSov, they can grab it now, and then they won't have to deal with some random prime time in AU time zone or some other weird prime time that whoever decides to set it to after the FozzieSov. So if they grab it now and they can control its indices, it's going to be easier for them to hold on to them in the future, because they are Black Legion, for example, is a pretty strong U.S. time zone alliance. And I think the only real competition they have in U.S. time zone, it will be either the Imperium and Brave's numbers if Brave can get healthy again.
We have a quick question here from an Australian player saying, how do we think that the Australians will be happy with the primetime system? Will they be? It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, AUTZ has only been of strategic relevance in Dominion when people are trying to basically play waiting games or to burn people out. Setting things to AUTZ to slow down an attack. Under the FozzieSoft system, nobody is going to be setting prime time for AUTZ in practice most of the time, I think, because of the indexing. However, what I do think that's nice, at least, is that AUTZ players will be able to provide some strategic relevance, even when there's not a block war, by maintaining indexes and chasing around Intosis Intosis hackers and stuff. Homeland defense in general is going to matter a lot more under the FozzieSoft system in all time zones, even if there isn't a primetime window set. Let's go ahead and
generally. I think for the Aussie timer players, it's not much is going to change. If you could form up well in the Aussie time zone, and you happen to be an Australian alliance, which you don't have much of anymore, but maybe in the future, then you could probably hold some space against some pretty incredible odds. But your offensive options are also pretty limited, which is always going to be the case. You live in Australia, sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunately the nature of the beast. But speaking of the nature of the beast, it is time for us to give away a Naboo X to.
Oh, we got another subscriber.
We do.
Did we give away the Bailgorn too?
80?
Stalk 80. No, I think we did.
I think we're just down.
Yeah,
to
the Bailgorn went to Mr.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, so it's all about the Naboo now.
All about the base, right? All right, here we go, guys. Doing the roll for the Naboo.
Oh.
Punkuloran. Punkuloran?
This is
I actually don't know. Punklarn? I don't know.
Punkuloran?
Sorry, we don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry.
Well, congratulations. You just won
Yeah,
a Naboo X. Make sure to message the channel with your information. And for the Naboo, actually, I think we just give you a code. We don't actually have to ship it to you, which is nice. We give you a code
and make sure
on their website. And
make sure you download the Naboo Gamers app for your Naboo. And that way you can find nearby Steam gamers and have other nerds to talk to.
It's like gamer Tinder.
Exactly.
There's somebody who plays video games over there.
It's kind of great that you can be in a room and just like have like a homing beacon and be like, oh, that guy plays Steam games. Let me go over there.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you.
Yeah, you're my other person that I need to talk to.
If you can't recognize the other nerd wearing a Razer product.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. The bracelet wasn't a giveaway.
Well, some people don't like to look at other people. Some people just like to look down at their feet when they walk.
They're busy staring at their shoes. So it's all good.
But I think we're all set for today, guys. Thank you, the Mittani, for coming back on. Pro God, thank you for joining us again this week, and Nystrik, thanks for the help as always. And guys, I think we'll close it out. Tomorrow we do have a stream for the
1900 Eve. We're going to be live streaming the entirety of the Boats Goat kill op. So if you want to see a Revenant blow it up and watch European Goonian take on the entire Imperium Coalition by themselves, tune into that. So 1900 Eve.
What system is that in?
It's going to be in
I got money on EG.
JUTAC? All right. I will probably jump my Titan and stream it for my Titan.
That will end well.
Yeah.
We told everybody that all caps are forfeit in there. You're not supposed to bring caps in. So if you bring in a Titan,
God, that's a
add
great
another
idea.
In that case, I'm bringing the entire Super Cap fleet.
I expect it to.
Great idea.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys
Thanks,
tomorrow.
everyone.
I might do a little bit of streaming this afternoon for World Warships. We have a lot of keys to give away. And other than that, you guys have a good night.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Cool.